Welcome, everybody, to the SuperWeapon podcast. This is episode 145 with your host, Darius the Artist, and 1LDC featuring me, Pia Khalifa. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thanks for tuning in.
No one
Wow. There we
you
go. And
did
insert applause.
like
that's getting
promoted.
clip.
That was awesome.
That's getting clip for sure.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just,
You
I'm
look,
just
and
me.
That
it's
was
definitely
awesome, man.
a good side hustle for you. Honestly, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So I just want to jump in here and say, you know, how important this episode is to us because over here at the Super Weapon, we genuinely just want to create a safe space and just a cool atmosphere for young women in gaming to express themselves. And
Yeah.
you know, you hear a lot of bad things on Twitch and stuff, just in the gaming sphere altogether. Sometimes it may not be the most welcoming place for young ladies. So one of our things here is we definitely love having the ladies on and letting them express themselves however they see fit and just make it a fun space, man. Just have fun.
Yeah.
And this month is Women's History Month. So we are honored to have you on. It's like I feel like the unofficial Super Weapon Scout. So I
You've
have
been
to.
doing a great job, man. That's why I had to give you a shout out. Like, you really
But I
have.
gotta give a shout out to Built actually. Built Up Real Nice, who we had on.
Yes.
He actually recommended you, Pia. He was like, "Yeah, she's pretty cool. Go
God,
check her
he's
out."
so sweet.
Yeah,
Shout out to
everyone
him.
loves him, man. Built's that guy, man.
He really is.
He was like, "Yo, because I was talking about me being former military, and
Yeah.
he was just like, "Yeah, man, you should check her content out. She's pretty cool." So I was lurking like I always do at first. I don't say much at first. I just kind of lurk,
Mm-hmm.
because like I know this is gonna sound really bad, but I'm gonna say it. Like you don't want to like start talking too much, and you don't really know the person, and then they may start doing
Sure.
some questionable things, and you like, oh, let me pull back a little bit. But yeah, I like to lurk a little bit at first and just see what's going on in the community. How's your personality? How you interact with people? And
My drink
what
just
you
spilled
do
on my
is,
face. Hello.
yeah,
Sorry.
what you do.
That's just me. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. And like what you do with your community is cool. One of the biggest things that I wanted to say immediately was the fact that you are a veteran, of course, and you show so much love to like the people that you play with. The people in
Yeah.
your community, she really like goes out of her way to like, hey, support my friends, support my friends. Even on her IG, she posting links to her friend stream, and that's one of the big things that like
Yeah.
kind of caught my eye. So with that being said, one more thing, right? We're gonna do a little icebreaker. Then we're gonna get into some serious stuff, some fun stuff, all that good stuff. But I created a little icebreaker here, just so let's get to know each other a little bit. I call it DOD. I really worked hard on that name.
DOD.
If
Okay.
you're military, you know. Okay, I
You
worked
say
hard.
EOD?
DOD, not
EOD. Oh, you're keeping the okay, I see you. Okay.
See what I did?
I see what
Military,
you
see
did
what I
there.
did?
I see what you did there.
DOD, Darius, or DC. Let's see what I did. I'm a genius.
Look at
Okay,
this guy.
but I'm gonna make this quick because I feel like we got so much to talk about.
So much.
Basically, I'm gonna ask you a question, right?
Okay.
And you say Darius or DC. Whoever you think this question pertains to, right?
Okay.
All right. First question. Who owns two cats, a big dumbass golden doodle, and who thinks he's a human?
Darius.
Yes, I do. I have a golden doodle. He's insane.
Mm.
Mr.
Yes.
Barkley upstairs, if you guys hear any rumbling, that's just
I knew that. I knew that because I pay attention. Because the last podcast, I remember him saying about his cats. I was watching and he said something about his cats. So when you said cats, I was
Yeah.
like, that's Darius.
Yeah, I've got two crazy cats too. Man. I love all my animals.
We are learning about Pia. See, she's very observant. Noted. Next question. Who thinks cars have souls?
You said cars?
Yes.
DC.
Oh yes, that is 100% true.
DC, 100%.
That's 100%.
All right, gonna
Yeah.
carry on. Don't be knowing me like this. I'm afraid. You're an assassin. Don't know me. Okay, next question.
Okay.
Who is the better Call of Duty player?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good because y'all love Apex.
You used to be in the Call of Duty streets heavy. But who's the better player?
Who's the better player? I would probably say Darius.
Correct.
Because DC, you told me that you was struggling out in those Call of Duty streets.
He's real humble about it, man. He's not as bad as he says he is.
I am very mid-tier. I am a support player, okay? Just let me run around with you, and if you die, then I'm going to kill that person. That's the kind of person I am. But next question. Because there's 10 questions, so we're going to go through this quick.
Yeah.
Who likes to dabble a smidget of chocolate on their lemon pepper wings?
That's disgusting.
DC.
Yeah, that's DC. I'm gonna tell you that's him. That's...
You can't say that. What's wrong with you? You're giving away
Sorry,
that.
man. Sorry. Chocolate on chicken on. Oh, come on, man.
A dabble.
Lemon
Look,
pepper steppers is crazy.
Listen to me. Y'all don't know what y'all missing, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Look, I see the chats going crazy. I'm sorry. Okay? We're getting to know each other here, okay? Next question. Who is originally from Detroit East Side, 6 Mile, Brick Mile, all day, every day?
Darius.
No.
Darius is originally from Atlanta, GA.
Oh, really?
Born and raised, yes, indeed. He's the Detroit baby. That's him up there.
I just live in Atlanta for free. Yeah, that's me. All right.
I was on a roll.
Oh, the chat is really getting it right over here. I see you guys over here. All right, next question. Who graduated with a degree in game art design?
Darius.
Correct.
That is true.
I'm graphic design. He's game art design. All right. Who is a Transformers fanatic?
DC.
Pia's really good at this. She's good at this, guys.
You should play you should get on a game show, man. Yeah, you're batting 4,000 right now.
She only missed one so far. Who is a chef and master griller?
Oh. You know, I'm gonna have to maybe say Darius.
Jesus Christ. All right. The game's rigged. Who told you?
No.
I don't know about master griller, but I do enjoy to cook.
Whatever.
I like cooking.
Yeah, he's a big cooker, guys. I try to cook and I just eat it because I cook it. It'd be nasty sometimes, but yeah. All right, 2 more questions and we're out of here.
Okay.
Who has a deep fear? Darius, mute your mic. Of wet bread.
Wait, a deep fear of what?
Wet bread.
I don't want to, maybe DC?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Give me a maybe. Okay, she said yes. Damn it, she knows me.
Oh, man. If you ever want to get anything out of him, just dangle some wet bread in front of his face.
Wet bread is so freaking disgusting.
Oh, man.
There's a story behind that, but maybe I'll tell y'all one day. My big brother tortured me with wet bread when I was little. No lie. True story.
I tried for those hot dog eating competitions. You're just like,
oh
no.
my God, I would die. I can't watch them. It's disgusting. They be dunking their like hot dogs in water and Sprite.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Right, Tina, but he loves French toast, right? Doesn't make sense.
Look, because that's eggs. Hello. That's not water. I don't know. Leave me alone, man. Last question. Who is a Gundam fanatic?
Darius?
That's right.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, guys. This woman has only missed one question. One question.
Game show, man. Game show, P. I'm telling you.
I need to apply.
Jesus Christ, this woman's on fire. What are we going to do? You know what? I want to do something for your chat, but we'll do that later. Since you did so good. I'll figure out something to do, maybe for you and your channel, because that
Mm,
was pretty dope. You killed that.
thank
So
you.
anyway, now that we got that out of the way, had a little fun, Pia, we
Yes.
would like to know all about you. Whatever you want to give up. Where you from? All the typical questions. Where you're from? What do you do for a living? How you get into streaming? Tell
Okay.
us a little about yourself.
Okay. So I originally was born in the Philippines. I'm an island girl. So I
Mhm.
was originally I was originally born in the Philippines. I left the Philippines when I was about 3 or 4, and my family we moved to Chicago. So I was pretty much raised in Chicago all my life for 19 years, right? Um, and like when I say Chicago, like I don't mean like Bolingbrook, I don't mean like Northbrook, like I don't mean like the suburban areas. Like I was in the hood, all right? Like I was in there, like swimwear, like North Side Chicago. Um, and then I was there for about 19 years. I worked one job before I walked into the recruiting office and was like, "Hey, I kind of want to do this." So after that I enlisted in the army. I was 19 years old.
Mhm.
Um, and I left for the army around 2012 of March, and I've never looked back since. So
Oh,
I'm in the
so
service. Mhm.
can is it? We can be like Midwesty besties.
Midwesty besties, I like that.
Yeah. Detroit. We used to like, yeah, because Detroit is only what, a couple of hours away from Chicago. And it's a shame that I've never been. I always wanted to go to
You
Chicago.
should.
So
It's so nice, so much fun, especially in the
you're,
summertime. Oh,
yeah, I believe it. Chicago, like, looks really nice. I need to put that on my list of places to go.
mhm.
Um, your recruiting story sounds similar to mine. That's funny. Yeah, my story is a little bit crazy as well. Like after a while, I just got tired of being in
Yeah.
Detroit, and I was like, this place is boring. There's really nothing to do.
Nothing here for me, right? Like there's just nothing here for me.
I didn't feel like I was going to grow as a person there. And then I also got shot at. So that was that. Yeah. And I was
Oh,
like, you know what? If I'm
yeah.
going to
Time to
die, I'm
go.
going to die in the military. That was
Time
my
to
You gonna get
go.
you gonna get paid to get shot? I hear you, man.
pretty much. But yeah, that's awesome. Chicago.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
sir.
And
And
I've
it's
been to the
funny because
Philippines too.
I don't get like when I'm streaming and there's new people, right?
Hmm.
I don't get the like, oh, you're from Chicago. I get like
California.
California. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get California. I've gotten Florida. I've gotten Hawaii. Like never
Let me
Chicago.
tell y'all something. Look here, and listen to me. Look, all Filipinos are not from San Diego. Okay? It's-
We are. We are.
I'm just
Butter
saying.
butter spread a little bit better than that. I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear
no,
you.
they're not from San Diego. And then the second one is Vallejo. They're all not from Vallejo. Stop doing that to people, okay? Don't do that.
So Pia, what branch of the, if you can say, what, or if you're comfortable saying, what branch of the military do you serve in?
So I'm in the United States Army.
Okay. Wow.
Oh,
I work a medical job. Um, yeah, and I love it. I mean, I know it has, people talk about it, and it's really you really have to be in it to really understand
Yeah.
the whole concept of it. So
Man, thank you for your service, man. That's awesome.
thank you. I appreciate
definitely.
that. Thank you.
Definitely. My nephew is in the army. I think, yeah, my father retired from the army, and then I have a cousin who's also in the army as well. And yeah, that would be funny. That would be funny if y'all cross paths. That would be hilarious. But
Small army. Small
yeah,
army.
oh yeah, it
Yeah.
is definitely like that for sure. So, you're one of the things that we brought you on for, because there's always a connection with like gaming. And
Yeah.
then we like to get into the person's backstory. Gaming is like what connects us all, I feel like. We're
Yes.
all here because one, we love to play, Call of Duty, Apex, whatever your FPS or whatever other kind of game you like to play. So, what got you into like streaming, and then how do you manage to, you know, being in the army? I'm pretty sure it can get busy, or
Tough.
and how do you just manage your life in general? How do you? Because I saw on a thing where you said you didn't have like a consistent. stream schedule. I'm
I
not sure if
don't.
you still do.
Till this day, I don't.
Yeah, so
Same
well,
here.
I mean, but you know what? Every time I come in your stream, people are there, so they have to have those notifications on. People come out for you, and it seems like, people know when you're streaming. So how do you just manage streaming with being in the army?
Yeah, sure. So, okay, so we'll start with how I got into streaming. Um, Ever since a little girl, obviously I played like Nintendo, right? I was playing like Mario Tennis, Wave Racer, stuff like that. Growing up, I kind of put it down. So I didn't really grow up gaming. I didn't have a PC. I didn't have any of that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then fast forward to what, 2020, quarantine, pandemic, right? We weren't working. Nobody was working. Went to Best Buy. You could not get your hands on a single Xbox or a single PS5 or PS5, PlayStation. Like, I'm sure you guys know that. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
everybody was just buying like TVs and, gaming consoles, stuff like that. I was working a little bit of the pandemic just because we're a medical field.
Mhm.
But then there came a time where we just were like, you know what? No, we can't work anymore. That's it. So that's when I got back into gaming. I bought an Xbox and then I got Call of Duty and then boom, right? Um, and funny enough, I didn't know about Twitch until I went back into gaming. Isn't that crazy? Like I didn't know there was a platform called Twitch. I didn't know that people just turn, their camera on and watch people play video games. I didn't know any of that. Once I found out, I started watching other people, and one of the first people I watched was Sweet Tails. Sweet Tails is like
Oh
my
yeah.
goddess, like she's my queen. I started watching her. Her content is amazing. She is just so funny. She doesn't care about who she is. She is herself. And it kind of inspired me because I was like, you know what? I want to do this. Like I want to get on stream and I want to be able to make people laugh or make someone's day if they had a bad day. So that's really where it stemmed from because I really wanted to help people, especially during that time. Um, I announced that I was going to stream on TikTok because I started on TikTok because everybody was on it during freaking pandemic.
Mhm.
I made a Twitch account. I didn't stream for a whole year. I had like 20 followers, but I didn't even stream for a year. And one of my mods and my really good friend, Maddie, that's how he found me on TikTok. And then he followed me on my Twitch. And I wasn't live for a year. And then I finally started streaming and I used my Xbox. I had an Xbox and the Twitch app on the Xbox. And then I had a webcam. And that's how I started streaming.
Wow.
I didn't have a mic. I didn't have anything. I just had my headset. And it was so chalked, but I wanted to just start somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I started there, and one of my other mods, One Love, he actually told me, hey, you can stream off your Xbox, and so that's where it kind of just started. So I did that, got into it. People were watching, and I was just like, I want to do this. I want to commit to this, and so that's kind of where that started. And
So
then
is
your
that
other,
Paddock
I'm sorry,
Manny with the panic comms? Is that who you're talking about?
Maddie, yes, he's my yes. 95% of the time when I'm playing Call of Duty, Maddie is squatted up with me.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's like been my A1 day one since I started streaming. So
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the first people that I've talked to that started on TikTok, that's come over to
Yeah.
Twitch. So do you feel like that's giving you like a different perspective on content creation? Because I know Twitch isn't like a really huge platform in the way that something like YouTube is. So,
Mhm.
just like you said, there's been quite a few people, including yourself, who's probably discovered the platform recently over the last few years. Do you feel like, creating content on TikTok has kind of helped you or give you like a different perspective to your content, like when you're streaming on Twitch?
So when I started on TikTok, I didn't do any gaming clips. I would just
Okay.
talk. My old videos, I was just talking, like giving people advice. There was always a constant with me in my content creation, and it's just giving people motivation or advice or whatever it may be, or making people laugh. That's always kind of now that I look back at it, that's always kind of been my stomping grounds and where everything stems from.
Right.
So when I started on TikTok and it kind of blew up, I was just talking about life. things we were going through, relationships, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I transitioned to Twitch, and I kind of had stopped TikTok, so I took a big break. But for me, Darius, I feel like it's two different things.
Yeah.
TikTok and Twitch, because when I started Twitch, I was kind of I cleaned the slate, and I was just kind of like, who is Sweet Espresso at the time? Because that was my name. And so I kind of had to start over again. And I didn't really take my TikTok audience, whoever, I didn't take that with me to Twitch. I kind of just
Okay.
did it over. Yeah.
So you did like a complete, just like brand refresh. That's cool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to you for having the wherewithal to do that. That's a tough thing for people to do. I still kind of struggle with that, like branding and stuff. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I have pretty solid branding, but it's taken me a few years to kind of, just like you said, figure out who you want to be in this
Yeah.
space, which is, I think it sounds like you've done a really great job of. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
what prompted the name change? Because
Yeah,
when I first started watching you, you were Sweet Espresso.
I was Sweet Espresso. So, okay. So Darius has just kind of mentioned it, right? Like you kind of know who you are, or you grow into something or whatever. So I started Sweet Ol Espresso when I first, like I was like, feel like I was a baby, I didn't know anything about Twitch. I didn't have like all my online gaming friends. And it was like, she's just this sweet, like brand new to everything, didn't know anything. And then I started meeting my friends. And my name is Pia, and so when we would talk, they're like Pia Khalifa, Pia Khalifa, and like we're not gonna talk about the Khalifa part, but like the more that I started streaming, getting to know my friends, being able to be who I am and open up and really show them my personality,
Mm.
it really just I felt like it's so cliche, but I really felt like I grew out of that Sweet Espresso timeline, and like
Okay,
I'm
you're
now
allowed to grow.
Pia.
That's
Say that
awesome.
again.
No, I said it's okay to grow. Like,
Yeah.
I think we all do, and sometimes, a name change or something like that. I feel like sometimes it's definitely needed. I've been through name changes as well, so I definitely understand that. And I think Pia Khalifa actually flows. Like, I just like the way it sounds. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. And I got to thank my friends for pushing my main squad, Lendy's and Maddie and Getty and Tony. Like they're the ones that are like Pia Khalifa is just like it just it's so catchy. It's so catchy. Your name is
It really
Pia,
is.
so
Yeah.
I have to thank them for pushing me to do it because I was scared. Like change is kind of scary. You know what I mean? You build this foundation of who you are, right? And I was Sweet Espresso, but the more that I started streaming and everything, it just didn't feel right, if that makes sense. And I was like, no, I really do want to be like Pia Khalifa. You know what I mean? Like that's who I am. So
With
yeah.
the yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense, and we all grow as people, and sometimes, we have to change some things around. We got to shake it up a little bit. So with the name change and everything, I guess that comes with a little bit, like rebranding and stuff like that. Where do you see yourself taking this in the future? Like, do you have any exact plans? Are you here? Are you kind of just taking it day by day, just enjoying it, or is there any long-term goals that you have with content creation?
Ooh, that's such a big question. Oh man, you're making me a little nervous. Let me shake it off. Okay. So of course, every content creator, right? They want to blow up. Like, let's just be real. They want that one video to go viral, so they can blow up, right? Let's just realistically. Me, honestly, I take it day by day. I have to take it day by day. I am the type of person I get overwhelmed very, very fast. And like my friends know this. If one audio doesn't work, I'm like, holy shit. I'm sorry, can I
No, you
cuss?
can curse. You're fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, help me, somebody. I need an adult. So I have to take things day by day for me to think clearly. Of course, I have like, plans. Like I do want to keep doing this. I do want to keep streaming. I do want to grow my community. But realistically speaking, I take it day by day. I have to for me.
Yeah.
There's some people that are like, I want to do this in 2 years. I want to do this in 3 years. I want to make this blueprint of, that's not me.
Yeah. And ultimately, man, I think that's the best approach to have when Because I mean, this thing we call content creation, man. This life is short. It's quick.
Yes.
Just like you said, as soon as something blows up, you have, you know, a certain amount of time before you can keep those eyes from looking elsewhere. And the thing that I really feel like has changed over the last couple of years, at least from the people that I kind of follow and admire in the space, is everyone is really trying to figure out what it is that makes them happy, because this space can really stress you out, especially when you're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
make good content. We talked a little bit before the podcast about like anxiety and
Oh yeah.
you know just the fear of the unknown, like, hey, is
Yeah.
anybody going to show up today when I hit this live button? Or
Mhm.
it's definitely a fleeting thing, and I think the best thing to do is just continue to have fun. And that's what I really think, like, the great thing about it is, that you do, is that you seem like you genuinely do have fun when you're making content. And I think that kind of like it boils over into your community, and that does make people want to stick around. And
Mm.
that's one of the big things I like that you do. Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
I really appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to have fun, If it, that's literally your foundation, like that's what you fall back on. Like if it doesn't matter, like, and it's easier said than done, right? Because
Mhm.
once we see numbers, it kind of gets to our head. Let's just be real, at least once.
Yeah.
But you really just have to remember why why did you start streaming? What was your intent? If your intent was to go viral, make it big, that's okay. That's fine. But then you have other people that are like, I want to start streaming because I want to spread positivity. I want to start streaming because, I want to make a difference, even if it's the smallest difference in somebody's that may be watching me or may
Mhm.
come across my stream, right? And that's what I have to remember. And I remember, I started this because I want to be able to make people laugh. I'd be laughing with me and like 3 people in my chat, but that doesn't matter because at least I can make them laugh and I can make them
Right.
smile.
oh, definitely. I think that's very important because we talk about it up here all the time. How I notice because, like we stated earlier, I'm kind of like the scout. I'm everywhere. I'm all over Twitch. Like all your friends that you suggested, I go check them out. I follow them, and you kind of notice people who are genuinely having fun, and then you have people you can see the chasers is what I
Mhm.
like to call them. The chasers are usually kind of playing something that's not really in their wheelhouse. You can tell that they really don't want to play it, but they feel like it's going to get them those numbers that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just feel like I'm not knocking that, but I feel
Okay.
like when you're being organic, I feel
Oh,
like things
Yeah.
come to you better
yes.
when you're just being organic.
Yes. I love that word so much. Organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
it's authentic, man. Like being
Yeah.
being authentic with people. It's pretty easy to tell, I think, nowadays. Like
oh,
people,
I could
you
tell
know.
off rip now. I think because I've been watching
Yeah.
people stream so much now, I can instantly tell if they're how what are they doing it for.
Right.
And me personally, I really can't watch someone. I would rather watch someone who's bad at a game,
But they're having
but having fun than to
absolutely.
watch someone kind of breeze through a game and they're just sitting there and you could tell like they're like, it's like I've seen people get sponsored streams and it's so hilarious because they'll get a sponsored stream to a game that might not be the greatest.
Mhm.
And these are the things this is where your integrity comes into play.
Mm.
Because if you're not really feeling the game, then why did you accept
Yeah.
accept like it can't be about money all the time. Because I know me personally, if someone was to come to me with a sponsored stream, now I just be like, oh, I'll turn them down like casually, like, hey, this just doesn't align with my schedule, whoop de woo. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Mm.
gonna be like, hey man, your game sucks. I don't want to play that on my stream. You gotta have some tact with it, but do what you love. Like, don't make it all about the check all the time.
Mm.
Because I know we have to, because we gotta eat. I get it. But
Mhm.
kind of have some of that integrity in there. And speaking of, so what happens if you're streaming and then what if you deploy? Do we get to go with you? Do we get to live stream from
The
Should
backpack
you
stream, the
guys with
backpack
me?
IRL stream.
I'll put you guys in my ruck, and then we all go. No, so fun fact, I've never deployed. I've been in the service for 10 long years.
Wow.
I have never deployed once. I've gotten close twice, And there was just something that just stopped me from going. But, I like to think that, everything kind of happens for a reason. And it just wasn't in the cards for me. I just wasn't meant to go, And so I take that with a grain of salt and just be like, you know what? It probably just was not my time. I wasn't meant to go on that deployment for whatever reason it may be. And maybe I'll catch one. Maybe I won't catch any, but that's just what the cards are for me.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But if I deploy, I can't take you guys with me, but I'll definitely do like all right, I'm about to leave. Bye. I'll see you guys in like 9 months.
And just to answer Maddie's question, that is our secretary Veronica in the background. She keeps us squared away over here.
I love Veronica.
She makes sure DC stays productive because
I'm over you.
He's a procrastinator. I'm just kidding. So yeah, man, let's talk about. I really kind of want to talk about like the games that you kind of play.
Okay.
First question is, I know everyone kind of tends to remember or usually do. Like, do you remember the first game you ever streamed?
Oh yeah, that's easy. It was Vanguard, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Vanguard.
I am a Call of Duty queen.
So yeah, you play a lot of COD, man. What is it about that game that, because like I said, it's very easy to tell when people aren't having fun when they're playing games, but you seem to genuinely have a good time playing with the people that you play with. What is it about Call of Duty, man, that kind of keeps bringing you back to play it?
I don't think it's the game itself, because if y'all go on Twitter, it's a lot of Call of Duty negative. This update is so bad, and this. But honestly, what keeps me. I started playing Call of Duty before I started streaming, right? That was the game I downloaded on my Xbox and everything. And I loved it. Verdansk, oh my gosh. Just rest in peace. I miss you. We miss you all. But now what keeps me going back to Call of Duty are honestly the people that I met playing Call of Duty and streaming Call of Duty. I met so many amazing people. And streamers now, they stream too. And that's what keeps me grounded. The people that I decide to play with, my main squad that I always play with, Lendy's, Maddie, Technique, Lindell, and you just keep meeting more people, throughout the community. And if you're having a bad day or whatever, and you squad up with them, they just make you laugh. That's what keeps me going.
Streams are hilarious. I love it. If anybody knows me, they know that I am 1,000% goofball. I need to be laughing 24 hours out of the day, or I am not happy. But yeah, I love the way you guys just genuinely
we're a big mess. We're just a mess. Yeah,
it's a good mess though, because it makes for entertainment, because you can tell you guys genuinely just love playing with each other in the game, and just I see so much, and I don't want to harp on a negative, but I just feel like I see a lot of people get caught up in the rat race, and it's like, this is not what gaming is about. I won't play a game if it starts to feel like a chore. That's how I am.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's why I stopped playing Destiny. Shout out to Destiny. Yeah. Well, that's why I stopped playing. But now, with you being in the military, I also wanted to touch on, it's one of the things we like to talk about here is mental health. And we want how does that look coming from the military side of things? Because when I was in, it wasn't really.
It was frowned upon.
Yeah, it was kind of that suck it up kind of culture. Get over it. You couldn't, I deployed. I deployed to Baghdad in the height of the war, and it was a little intense. Things were a little crazy, and I feel like the ball was dropped a little bit when we got back, because I have a lot of friends and stuff, and we talk about it often. And we felt like at that time, at that time, I'm speaking from that time, we felt like with the knowledge that we have now, more could have been done back in the day to handle the mental health aspect of troops coming back home.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear from you. What does that look like now? Even though you haven't been deployed, just mental health in general in the military.
Yeah. So I will say there, back then, and I wasn't in a, senior leadership type position back then, or maybe I wasn't even in the army. I don't know. But I know back then that it was definitely frowned upon. Mental health, like going to behavioral health,
Oh
it it
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it, it just labeled you as a weak person,
Hmm.
right? And it's just like,
Wow.
why? Like, getting help, why, they're like, just get over it, drink some water, take a knee, here's a Tylenol. Like, huh? What are you talking about? Um, Now it's gotten better. I will say it's gotten a lot better. They promote it a lot. Mental health, behavioral health. Military One Source. You can call them and you get 12 free therapy sessions. And you could say this one's about work. You use all 12 sessions, and then you call them again. Oh, this one's about my life. You get 12 free sessions, and those are free therapy sessions that you can have with, not even on the base clinic. You can find a therapist off post and go. I've been there. I've done that before. I had a therapist off post. I had 12 sessions and I didn't pay a single penny.
Wow.
And those are resources that are gold, they're gems. People should use them more often, because even if you ain't got nothing to talk about or no problems, I am such a supporter of just talking to therapist. Just talk.
Yeah.
Because maybe not everybody has that one person to talk to, you know? And
Yeah,
they hold it in, and
that's
yeah.
definitely important, and I'm actually very glad to hear that. And I believe ours was called Life Skills, I want to say.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, because the building was like this weird blue building, and it was like, even if they saw your car over there,
Mm.
it was like you were
Going over
labeled, like you were immediately labeled. If you can, like,
yeah,
if someone saw you walking out that building, if you asked your supervisor, can you go? It was just like, oh, he's going to Life Skills. What's his problem? Blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah. It was like such a negative connotation at the time. And I'm glad to hear that. That's very, very, very important, especially with people in the military, because they do have a lot of responsibility, man. There's a lot going on.
I will always
Deployments in itself are very stressful, and I'm not talking about um once you get there. I'm talking about the process of getting to where you're going in the military. First of all, I'm not sure if it's changed, because I got out. It sounds like I got out like right around before you got in, a couple of years before you got in. Um, Deploying is such a hassle because the military is so cheap. Okay, they're going
mm,
to try to book you the cheapest flights,
mhm.
and I to get to Baghdad, I think I caught 8 flights. I kid you not.
Jesus Christ.
They sent me all around the US on connector flights.
Wow.
No. Be
Mm-mm.
All
like,
these
another flight?
bags.
Okay, y'all crazy.
And you know what really kills you at the airport? Your M16. Oh my god. All the stuff you gotta go through to get your oh my god, and then it's a mess. So, you're going to this war zone, it's sitting on your mind the whole time. You're going through 84 flights.
Mm.
You get there, you deal with whatever you deal with. Oh, we got bombed, literally. Like, I think the
Oh
first
my
month, it was
god.
30 days straight of nonstop mortar attacks. So now
Yeah.
you sit there and and I tell Darius all of the time, you lose the concept of what I call life,
Yeah.
because you're like, oh well, a bomb hit, and you just like you sitting there, you look at your friend, and you're like, well, did you get hit? Nah.
Well, shit, we're here.
Yeah, like, did you get hit?
But I can
You look
imagine.
at yourself like, nah. Then you
No.
pull out a cigarette, and you're
Yeah.
just like, yeah,
You want to
just
go to
another day.
channel? What do you mean? You want to eat?
Yeah, so you like, and I worked on the
Yeah.
flight line. I worked logistics, so I worked on the flight line,
Okay.
and that's where they like to bomb the most. So
I didn't
you
know
deal
that.
with
Wow.
that, boy, then you fly back home, and I didn't deal with
Mm.
like a lot of people. They had a lot of PTSD going on.
Mhm.
I didn't deal with that. Well, at least I didn't think I dealt with that until later on. I just started going to therapy. I just started, and I've been out well over 10
I'm
years.
proud of you.
Yeah.
So I just started going to therapy to deal with that, because growing up where I'm from, even getting shot at, it was just like my therapist was telling me, he was like, dude, when I was telling him pretty much about my life, he was like, you know that shit ain't normal, right? And he like cussed and everything. He was like, matter of fact, my therapist is from Chicago. And he
Uh,
was like, you know that is, he was like, you know, that's not normal, man. He was like, you talk about it as if it was normal. And I was just like, oh, I didn't know. And that's why when you said, even if you go just to talk, there may be some underlying things that you
oh
think is
yeah.
normal. But when someone
Mhm.
starts talking to you, you're like, oh shit.
When they get down to that nitty gritty, you're gonna be like, oh shoot, I did need to talk to this therapist.
Yeah. So, you know, that's very
Absolutely.
important. And I see that on your page, you know, you have something that I think it's you in your uniform, and you were saying that, you know, you want to do part of the
Yes.
reason why you do this is because you want to do something for the vets, and we're here to extend that olive branch, you know, like if there's ever anything that we can help you with or
Yeah,
promote,
absolutely.
or because I've been going through the same thing myself. I'd be like, man, I kind of want to like, well, not even kind of want to, I want to do something to kind of give back to the vets, like even care packages. Because let me tell y'all, when I was over there, man, I was getting care packages from like little kids, like because like churches and stuff will send out like care packages,
Yeah.
and it makes a
The
difference. Oh
difference.
my god, care packages are the shit. Okay, if
Yes.
you, man, I got like a bar of soap. Look, let me tell you something. They bombed our shower tent, and we were funky. Okay,
To drink and then you sit a bar of soap and I
Oh
I
almost
had
man.
a bar of soap. It was like some gummy bears. Like, dude, you'd be so happy like to get some of the smallest stuff.
it's the
So
simple things, right? And honestly, that's why that's part of I'm so glad you said that, DC, because that's part of the reason why I want to experience a deployment, right? Because we get so used to these materialistic things that we have
Mm.
that we kind of don't, we kind of take for granted a little bit, right? But when you're put in a whole new austere environment and you don't have any of those things, or you have very, the scarcity of those things, it really makes you appreciate the little things that we have. And even though I've never deployed, I try to always, my mindset is and I'm still practicing this, like, let me be grateful, for example, for this candle I have on my desk. You know what I'm saying? It makes
Yeah.
my house smell good. It's from Bath and Body Works. Like, I'm able to purchase that, right? So being in that environment and being able to appreciate a bar of soap, you know what I mean? It gives you a whole different perspective
Yeah.
and this whole different light that you see through.
hey, look, I've never in my life been so dirty. Okay, I'm talking about we had a sandstorm, no showers. I'm talking about sand, dirt. Like we were taking bottles of water and we were like trying our best. Because you got to think, we also like there's nowhere to wash your uniforms. It was
Mhm.
bad. So I'm like, I was walking around with my shorts on, flip flops, and like I just had on my brown shirt, and I was like, this is how I'm rocking today. And like
Mhm.
my chief was like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to say about it. Go ahead, because it was just, whoo, man. I'm telling you, you're right. It really makes you appreciate the little things. Because when I came back home, I ran that shower. I kid you not. I stayed in the shower for 4 hours just soaking.
Oh,
The
4 hours
water
is
was
crazy.
brick cold. The water was brick cold. It stopped running hot, and I just missed the shower so much. So if you ever deploy, and definitely
My goodness.
if you deploy, you know we got you. We send you the good care package.
Thank you.
We give you a candle in there and everything. You know, just be careful with customs though. They be stealing. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
customs. I worked closely with customs when I was over there. I was like, yo, my man, what you doing? What you doing, Tony? What you doing? But yeah, that's crazy. 10 years never deployed. You and
Yeah.
my nephew just rolling the dice on that one, huh? My cousin, he deployed like 4 or 5 times. He hasn't been so lucky, but yeah.
Mm.
Is there anywhere where you like to get stationed though?
Oh man. Honestly, probably no, I don't think so. I mean, my journey, right? I started my first duty station, I went to Europe.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So you're talking about a girl from Chicago and never really left the state. never, been on a plane as an adult, right? Because I was 3 when I left the Philippines, right? I'd never taken fun fact, I had never taken a single flight.
And they're
Uh,
asking you to fly overseas. Oh my gosh.
they asked me to fly overseas to a whole new, a whole new freaking continent, right? So I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to Europe? Okay, I was 19, you know, and so here I am in Germany, had to get a German driver's license, had to learn all the signs,
Oh my
at
God.
19 years old. And, looking back now, I'm 31. But, I don't look like it. But looking back, young Pia at 19, learning all this stuff, trying to learn German, Deutsch. It was such a life-changing experience. And I wouldn't take it back. So yeah, I was in Germany, left. Then I went to Fort Campbell, in Tennessee or Kentucky. And then I went to Fort Bragg. So I would like to say I've hit 2 pretty historical Army bases. Fort Campbell,
Yeah.
home of the 101st Screaming Eagles, and then Fort Bragg, home of 82nd Airborne all the way. So
Jumping out of planes.
yeah. So it was a big shift for me too, because I was working at a clinic in Germany. I was in the clinic. I had a whole little badge. I was like official. I was just working with patients. I'd never touched a vehicle. I'd never, PMCS, which is basically checking your vehicle. I'd never done any of that. And then I moved to Campbell, and I was like, you want me to be in line unit, like going to the field? That's crazy. But I had to learn all that stuff when I had
Germany?
Whew.
I wish I could
Pretty big
call my
change in
friends.
the way of life, I bet.
a pretty
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
like culture
change.
shock, yeah.
I
Oh,
really
yeah.
wish I could take my friends over there because, boy, oh man, I had so much fun when I was in Germany, and I was just visiting. Germany is a beautiful place. Like I never would have thought. Like Germany has never been on my like map of places to go, but it's actually very nice there, man. Were you anywhere near what is it, K Town?
Oh, I partied in K-Town. Let me tell you.
Who has it? Yeah, that's definitely a military thing. Yeah, I got lost in K Town, pissy drunk. Long story, but I'll tell that another day.
When I came back from Germany, I was 22, and all my friends were like, "Let's go party." And I'm like, "I'm trying to go to bed this whole weekend because I did all of that stuff in Germany." Like
Yeah,
the
Germany
party
will
don't
do
start
you.
in Germany till like 11 o'clock at night, midnight, and you're out till like 5, 6 in the morning.
Wow. Oh yeah, they party hard, I
Like
guess.
sometimes like
Party,
8.
party. So yes, I've been to K-Town, DC. I've been to K-Town. I've been to Mannheim. I've been to Schweinfurt. I've
Mhm.
been to Wiesbaden. I've been to Frankfurt. Been to Ramstein. Like
Oh, Ramstein. Oh, you took the whole Germany tour.
I did. I
Oh,
did.
that's what's up.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk off mic about that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure, for sure.
yeah, it was some wild times in Germany, boy. Oh man. So with that, I'm assuming that you're gonna retire from the military.
Oh man. You remember when I said I take streaming day by day?
You're taking that day by day.
I
Got
take life day by day. I take life day by day. And of course, I have goals, right? Just because you take life day by day doesn't mean that you don't have goals
Yeah,
that you
for
set
sure.
out for
Absolutely.
yourself. But I take life day by day because my mentality is tomorrow is never promised, right? So you just have to take it day by day. Um, like I said, I'm easily overwhelmed. So I have to be like, all right, what am I doing today? What am I doing tomorrow when tomorrow comes? So I take the army day by day, and it's led me 10 years. So I'm hoping,
Yeah.
it.
fingers and toes crossed, I'm hoping that I can finish out my next 10.
But let me tell you why that's a good mentality to have. To me, looking at you, I wish I had the ability to take it day by day because that's where my therapist said I have like extreme anxiety, and the way that you move like day to day, I'm the opposite. Like I'm constantly thinking like what's next, what's next, what's next. Like I have to plan my days,
Mhm.
and it can be overwhelming. Like you, and then if something don't go the way that I planned it,
Mhm.
it tends to like make me upset.
Mhm.
But I've been dealing really good with that lately because my life can be so chaotic. Like I work 2 jobs, I do this, I go to the gym, and then on top of
Yeah.
that, I try to have a social life.
Oh yeah.
Things could get a little hectic, but it's all a learning experience because I've
Yes.
calmed down a lot. So if something don't go to plan, like say if we, for example, podcasting, like some days we'll wake up and we'll just like, you know what, we're not podding today. We had too many audio issues or it don't sound right. And instead of being mad about the audio issues, I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. We're gonna make a better episode next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some Apex.
The universe is gonna take care of you, man. You just gotta let it. You just gotta sit back and let
I'm
it happen
learning,
as it intends, man.
definitely learning that because I used to like freak out bad. Like recently, I had 2 flat tires. I was stuck on the side of the road.
Mm.
That would have bugged me out a few years ago. But this time, I just sat in my car. I was just playing my music, waiting for the tow truck to come,
That's all
and
you
I
can
was
do, man.
I was doing karaoke. I was just sitting there having car karaoke, and it is what it is, man. Like I just think you have to learn yourself. Like if y'all take anything away from this podcast today, is do what I like to call a self-evaluation and be honest with yourself. Just look in the mirror and be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you mentally and physically where you want to be? Like if
Mhm.
there's something, we all know ourselves. We're pretty self-aware, whether we admit it or not. But if you just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, what can I improve mentally? Because it's not about really just like physicality. It's like we have to work a lot on our mental health because everyone goes through a lot of
Consistently.
stuff. Yeah, everybody in this chat, I'm pretty sure has something that they're dealing with that they're not speaking about. Like once
Mm.
you log off this chat, once we log off or we go about our day, those problems are going to be there. And,
Mm.
it helps to have people like you, Pia, around. And that's why I want to just give you a applause because you can be that escape for someone. People come in your chat to kind of escape reality a little bit. They come to have fun. They come to watch the crazy Call of Duty clips, the wild panic call. I know that's what I do. Like, I'm like, oh, I used to get mad because like you were streaming when I was at work. So, but now you've been streaming and I've been able to catch the streams more consistent. I'm like, it's kind of a place is a escape. You like, hey, let me go see what Pia's doing because I know I'm gonna get a laugh over here. I know she's gonna do something crazy. So, I just want you to know that you are special to a lot of people. You bring something to a lot of people. You bring joy to people. The people that I follow, you, the Bilts, the Beezies, you guys bring something to this world that is needed. Don't never just say, "Oh, I'm just a streamer." You are a streamer. You
Mm.
are a content creator. You
Mm.
bring happiness. You bring things to the world. You have something to offer. So that's why we're just happy to have you here. And hey,
Yeah, thank
if you
you.
ever deploy, I'm telling you, I got them fruit snacks. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Got the good
Amazing.
fruit snacks, got something for the wait, hold on. I do want to say something too. Hey, Pia be singing, bro. Don't let her lie to you.
All right.
Pia be singing. We not gonna put you on the spot. It's okay.
No, don't put her on the spot. I was gonna
No,
say
I'm not
don't
gonna
put
ask
her.
her. I just thought it was cool. I was like, oh, when you think you know someone, do you see another like talent?
Another light to them, right? And like maybe some people in my chat, like they see my regular streams, and then I get on a podcast and I start talking about something that maybe they didn't know. So it's just like another light to me. I also wanted to touch on something, DC, when you said about being aware and like when things happen to you. I have to say this: when things happen to you and stuff like that. So what I'm practicing, and I highly advise everyone to do it, because I wasn't my dog. I was in a position where I'm very emotional. Okay. I'm a
Mhm.
very emotional person.
Sure.
I get overwhelmed. But what I'm practicing consistently is things are going to happen to you, right? It's just life.
Mhm.
However, you cannot control that. It's uncontrollable. However, you can always control how you react to it. And when I have to sometimes say that out loud, because if not, then I feel so lost, right? So if something happens to me, it's bound to happen to me. Something's always going to happen to someone, right? But it just matters on how you react to that is going
Yeah.
to set the tone for the rest of your day. You could be upset about it, and then your whole day is like, well, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
whatever. But you can just be like, you know what? It's fine. We move on. There's 8 more hours to the day, and I'm going to make 8 more hours count. And that's how I look at
I
life
mean,
and everything.
that's a really great way to, once again, it's a great attitude to have, man. Especially, being in this industry. I can imagine, and that's something I kind of wanted to talk to you about as well. With it being Women's History Month, how do you kind of feel the landscape is for ladies in the stream or content creation space in general? And do you feel like there are some things that they can improve on that the male counterparts or any other supporting groups could do to better, I want to say like exposure, but just like better highlight ladies like yourself who are doing great things in the space?
Say, as a woman in gaming and women in the Twitch streaming, there's multiple platforms now.
Right.
As a woman in gaming community, as a woman in the streaming community, it has its ups and downs, right? A lot of people are like, oh, you're a woman, it's easier for you to stream. You'll get, 10 people off the rip because you're just cute or you're pretty or, stuff like that. And I feel like there's just some things you can't change. You know what I mean? People are always going to come in, they're going to troll you, or, you get good people in your stream, right? I think for women, for me at least, it's just the support, right? I try and support other women in gaming. I try to support other women in the streaming foundation, in the streaming community. And at the end of the day, I feel like that's all we really have, is to be able to support someone and then show that there are genuine and good people in this community, because we can get so blindsided by, the weirdos or the creeps or the trolls that come in. And, it takes a toll on you sometimes when you see a comment and you're just like, wait, what? Like, it really takes a toll on your mental health. So I feel like being able to support as much as you can, and as many women as I can, and uplift them. I think that that's the best thing that I can do in this community. But like I said, there are things that's just never going to change.
I think the women do a good job with that too, being very supportive of each other.
Yeah.
And, like I said, it's part of the reason why we're talking to you right now. We do want to give women more of a voice over here at SuperWeapon, because I feel like it's needed. Not just because of Women's History Month, even moving forward, we're working to have more ladies on here. We have, we have another one coming up.
I love that.
Lucky actually runs the GTA RP server that I'm on, and she's a lady that's in tech. Like, she's a tech.
I love that. Yes.
And so we want to cover these different
people doing cool stuff, man. I think that's really like the big thing.
Yeah,
really,
just people just highlighting what you guys do. I think that's
powerful to see women in male dominant slots. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, being a tech, you think of like a guy, right? Like, off the rip. Call of Duty is predominantly like a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying? And so being a woman in a Call of Duty community, right, where it's dominantly males, and then, it's so powerful for me. It's a beautiful thing.
Do you have any advice you would offer a, young lady who might be interested in content creation, whether that be streaming or TikTok or YouTube?
Yeah.
Not just like tips, just anything that you would have told yourself to do differently when you first started, from what you know now to what you knew then.
Oh, okay. Number one, just be yourself, 100%. And we kind of, sometimes that we get lost in who we want to be as this persona of our name on Twitch, right? Yeah. But be yourself, be genuine. People are going to gravitate towards you for you. And if you're yourself, those people are there for you, right? So if you try to switch it up, like, now you're just kind of lost. So 100% be yourself, be genuine. And the right people will gravitate to your channel, to your content, to what you're making, because they're there for you.
Right.
As far as like advice for myself, I don't know, because I just always told myself, like, I have to be myself. Yeah. Shamelessly. I wheeze when I laugh really hard, but that's just like who I am. And if you don't like it, then like, you're not the type of people that, maybe belongs in my chat. Maybe you'll find someone else that's a better fit for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just genuinely and it's so cliche, but it really just.
But I think it makes sense though. Like
Yeah,
it's cliche for a reason. Like you hear it all the time because you need to hear it.
because it works.
I,
It absolutely
well,
works.
yeah, because I think a lot of people get caught up into what I like to call being a character on the stream. You know,
Yeah.
they're not really being themselves. They're being what they think people want to see. And I'm like, once you get like people like me, and once you watch so many streams, you start to it's real easy to notice things like that.
Yeah.
So when I
And
come into your stream, I just genuinely feel like, hey, it's just Pia. She's having fun.
yeah. And I'm not saying, like Dr. Disrespect, he puts on a show. Like his streams, it's a
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's his intent, right? But if you like,
Mhm.
you have to first off know what type of streamer you want to be. I feel like, do I want to be myself, genuinely Pia, or do I want to put on a show for people when I stream? Because I'm pretty sure Dr. Disrespect doesn't walk around in his house with his glasses on. Maybe he does sometimes, but
I would
you
debate
The
that.
glasses and the vest. Oh my god,
I would debate that. I think he sleeps in that
that
thing.
would be crazy.
but that's his intent, right?
Yeah,
Right,
He's
right. He's been doing it since day
entertain
one.
people that way, and it works for him,
Hmm.
But then you have to figure out, will it work for me?
yeah.
And am I willing to keep up with that persona if it does work for me? So you just
It's
have
a
to kind
tough
of know
one,
who you want.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a tough one. Like really, and I like what you said that what is your intent with making content or being or existing in this space. I think that's an incredibly important question to ask yourself when you
Yeah.
first start doing this. I mean, because then you'll really start to figure out, just like we were talking earlier about how you figured out your Pia, your Pia Khalifa, from your
Yeah.
previous name. So I just, like I said, I really do admire that about you and your community, because for someone who has not been streaming or making content as long as you have, you're very experienced in what you want to do and how you want to build your community and your brand. So I once again, just definitely wanted to highlight that. I think that's pretty incredible, that you've come as far as you have. And it's not often where I really, and I'm not just saying this just because you're here, but it's not often that you see content creators. And I feel the same way about Built and Beezy. You guys, I really feel like you guys are building steam at the moment, and you're gonna hit critical mass really soon. And
Thank you.
it's just
I
really awesome to see. So
Yeah. So with that being said, man, oh wow, time flies when you're having fun, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's been about an hour.
I did
Def
want to say one more thing though. I did
Sure.
want to answer one quick question. I noticed on the IG stories, right? There's these intense moments on your IG story where there's just a hat. Like there's just a hat like this, and it's just moving around. And I'm like, what is she doing over there? But then I figured I was like, oh, she's working out. And like, so yeah. I was like, what is this hat? Like there's
Yes.
just like a little top, like you just see the top of Pia's head, and it's just like moving around. And I'm like, what in the hell is she doing? But with that being said, like, how important is
Mhm.
working out to you? And does
Yes.
that
Oh, I
is
love
that a
that word.
part of your mental health regimen? Because I know it is for me.
I was
Like I like
hoping
to
we
work
would touch
out.
on this, DC and Darius. I was hoping we would touch on this. Working out has been a very important piece in my life. I grew up as a double sport athlete. I did cheer and I played softball. So it just kind of was always a part. It's been a part of my life, my whole life, right? My whole like
Mhm.
early adult to adult life. And then obviously being in the military, you got to do PT. You know what I'm saying? So it's just ingrained in me that I have to work out. But more so, I look at working out as it's not a race for me. It's a marathon. It's a lifestyle, right?
Mhm.
And myself and other people, we kind of fall back sometimes. We have a week where we're like, I don't want to do anything. But for me, working out does help my mental health. Um,
Sure. Me
it's
too.
a stress relief, right? Like with gaming,
Mhm.
right? A lot of people go gaming to release their stress. For me, it's that and the gym. I have to work out because it clears my mind. I can think clearly. I feel good, not only on the outside. That's just a bonus, right? That's just the DLC you get, right? But you feel good inside. Like you're just like, all right, I worked out. You know, I feel productive. I'm good. So working out for me is a must. Because if not, I tend to just be like, what am I doing? My body's like screaming, like, you need to go to the gym, you need to work out. But that's just a part of my
That's
lifestyle.
awesome, man. That's an awesome mindset. And just like Short 82 in chat said, that post pump mirror review does wonders for your mental health and how you view yourself. Sometimes you just gotta tell yourself you look good. That's all, man.
Post pump,
That
baby.
post pump
Okay.
mirror review, man. Sometimes you just gotta get in there, man, and be your own hype man, as you know what I mean. So
I love it, man. I love it. I think like that's so relatable when you said that's so relatable because yeah, I definitely stress lift. I may have I love throwing around the weights, man. I love it. I just need to get my food under control because I eat like Gregory the goat. I will chew on a car bumper. I'm always hungry.
Car bumper.
Yeah, car bumper.
that's where he gets all his iron, I guess.
Yeah, guns, baby. But it's just been fun. Like I hate wrapping up. When we have guests, it's so hard to wrap up, but
it is, especially when you're having great conversations, man. Like,
yeah, we don't want to hold you hostage here on this Saturday. I'm pretty sure you have other things to do. You have your 2 beautiful dogs over there. Shout out to the dogs, man.
My babies.
Shout out to the
shout out
dogs.
to stream animals. Shout out.
And what's your dog's name? Sammy and
Riley.
Sammy and Riley. Shout out to the dogs.
They've traveled with me everywhere. So
nice. Oh, and I see that you had them for what, 10 years?
No, I've had. Let me see. I've had them for about 7 years, 6 years, because Riley is 7 and Sammy is 6.
Hey, well, we're big animal lovers over here, so shout out to the pooches, baby. Well, Darius, you want to go ahead and
yeah, man. First things first, of course, man. Thank you to Miss Pia for coming out again, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. This is definitely, I think, important conversations to continue to have to spread, people's amazing stories like yourself who are doing great things in this space. And, I really see and hope for nothing but good things for you going forward, man, especially with just how great, your content and stuff is. So shout out to your lovely community, and shout out to everyone who has taken the time to stop by today. Like I said, if this is you guys' first time here, we record this podcast every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. It is also up on major podcast websites as well. So if you miss it, we also put it on YouTube as well. So that stuff will be all down in the description as well as Pia's. But Pia, this is the time I like to give our guests the floor. If you want to, any major shout outs, anything, everything, the floor is yours. Any socials, any projects you got going on, it's all you. So.
Oh man, this is so strange. Okay, yeah. I'd like to thank y'all for inviting me and having me on your podcast. Thank you guys so much. It was really I felt like, who am I? Like, you guys want me on the podcast? So thank you, Darius, and thank you, DC, for having me. I also want to thank my homies. I have to, Lendy's, Maddie, Tony, Lindell, my mod, Smooth, and DJ, and everybody in my chat right now. Honestly, a streamer isn't a streamer without their community. So I'm always so blessed to have people that want to, come to my streams to hang out or do something or whatever, watch us play games and stuff like that. I'm really thankful for them. And, I try to tell them sometimes, and, we get so caught up with gaming that we don't really take the time to really be like, you know what? You really mean a lot to me. Mm-hmm. And thank you for being in my life. So I really just want to take this time to thank them and, for meeting them and everything like that.
Especially mods, man.
Yeah.
Mods, you guys don't know how important you are to a person's chat. Mods with the sword, baby. We love and respect all the mods out there.
Shout out. Thank you. But yeah, man, if you want to tell people where they can find you, Pia, all your socials, we want to get your stuff out there, man. Like, you definitely deserve all the shine today. So.
Thank you. So my Twitch is Pia Khalifa. Mostly everything is Pia Khalifa. There's just periods and underscores in between on social media platforms. It's all that on Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch. That's pretty much. Oh, and TikTok, it's Pia, not Mia. It's the only thing I haven't changed. So,
gotcha.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely, man. And DC, if you got anything for closing, man. If not, man, this is going to be the end. So I'm gonna give you the floor as well, my good man.
All right. Speaking of Women's History Month, I got to wear my Panama Jane hoodie again. Panama Jane is a beautiful person inside and out, a rap artist from Atlanta, GA. She does a little anime trap. That's what we like to call it. She's pretty cool, and that's the homie. And then also, I'm just a label, just a label junkie today. Got my B hat on from my brother Corey and his clothing line. So just trying to represent for my people, taking notes from Pia. You know what I'm saying? Got to represent people. And also, like we said before, we would love to have you back later on, maybe sometime down the line. We could get something going for the vets,
Yes.
people who are in. I would love to connect with
Absolutely.
you guys and do something amazing. And also, one more thing, we have Lucky from Lucky City. She'll be coming on the show to talk all things that are tech.
Soon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's coming soon. I wish we could squeeze it into Women's Month, but we making Women's Month every month, so we're gonna have her down the line somewhere. I can't wait to talk to her about all that good stuff. So tune in, man. It's gonna be fun. Remember, don't be creepy, guys. Be a gentleman always. Keep
Support
it playing.
women.
Yeah, support women. Don't be an asshole. I'm gonna say it, because we will find you. But no, that's all I got to say, man.
Awesome, beautiful, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. That's going to be the end of the audio version. If you guys are in chat, hang around. We're going to play some games as always. See ya.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
sir.